Okay, so this is the night before for Monday, December 15th, and we are going to do our pregame analysis. Okay, so first I'll look at SPX. What is the index doing? And on the higher time frame, let me switch to my live trading. Save all of this. Okay, so we'll switch to live trading. And we want to look at where SPX is in relation to all-time highs. So we are close. All-time highs is here, and then once we get above there, it should be good to go. And then QQQ, we had a big down day on Friday. It rejected 69, it rejected the key levels in SPX and QQQ. So we don't want to have a bias going to the day, but what we are waiting for is it to get above 6,900. If we get on SPX, if we can get above 6,900, we can be bullish. If it gets below 6,800, we probably need to potentially start looking at puts. So SPX above. And then we'll look at the futures. Not much happening there. And we'll look at tomorrow, what's going on there. Not much happening there. Okay, so Tesla. Tesla is near a key level. We are looking for 471 and then 481. So 471 right here, and that could pop to 481. And once we get, sorry, 471, once we get to 488, it is game on. So we're waiting for that to align with SPX breaking all-time highs, and that would be a pretty big trade. On the intraday side, we are basically looking for Tesla to get above the previous day high. And I think we are going to wait for 471, but we will follow the direction of the course of the coaches. So let me turn my lines back on. So the previous day high is 463, and I usually make this blue. Previous day low. Again, we don't want to have a bias. If it goes low, probably not going to play puts, but we have to be ready for anything. I made the mistake last week of thinking it was for sure going to break 6,900, which was pretty foolish. So Tesla is looking really good. If it can get above here, this is a multi-month reclaim in October, and then this is November. So we tried before, but this is the level. And then if we go all the way back, this 588, then we have to be ready to roll or buy a long dated option. So this is the one I'm really looking out for. We want to wait for, we could mix it up a little bit here, but ideally we do Tesla above 471, 488, and then all time high. So we don't necessarily need to take a trade tomorrow. But if there is a trade here, it will be probably above this 457. 457. I'm probably going to sit it out until 466, to be honest, or under the direction of Brando. So for my intraday level for Tesla will be 457, 466, and then I'll wait to see if he wants to take that. It is looking good on the higher time frame. A little choppy, but we are headed up back towards all-time highs, so that's looking good. SPX looking pretty good too, but at any moment this thing could dip. And then Meta, a little choppy action here, but it does have the potential to potentially move all the way up. So let's look at the key levels here. Too many lines going on. 646. 647. 653. 662. So we're going to wait for the coaches to tell us which ones to look for. We need SPX above 6,900 before we do anything. Anything in between that is going to be a little speculative. QQQ. Ideally, we get above this 624, 627. Ideally, above 627. Everything else in between this is chop. So you could make trades, but they're not going to be massive trades. NVIDIA, it broke 184 last week and then came back down. So we want to get back up 184, break above, but that has been a hard level to break. Once it gets through, we could see some pretty good continuation. So 184 can see 190, 196. Higher time frame. It's kind of bottoming here, and we're hoping it pops back up, but there's actually no clear direction. You can see the alternating days, green, black, green, black. This was probably a hard level, and it broke through there, so we're probably going to come back up, but no clear direction on this. So to me, it's not clear what's going on there. PLTR. This looks a lot better. It's coming up. So if we can break through one of these key levels, this is looking a lot better. 184 to 189. And which one is a bigger level? 189 is probably the bigger level, so maybe we wait for 189. AMD, that the key one we want is this. I'm going to mark this 228. I'm make this a little thicker because it's a more important level. Why is it more important? If we go back to March 2024, that is a multi-month reclaim, and then we could sprint all the way back to these levels. So I am going to wait for 228 and not going to get involved in the small stuff. Hood has been pretty good to me. Starting to consolidate again, but we could probably get back up there. Probably not going to touch that, but I'm going to mark the levels. In the back testing that I've done, there's not a lot of continuation on Hood. So we can follow the direction of Brando, but these levels in them of themselves are not good enough to take a trade. So if Hood gets above 123 tomorrow, probably still do not take the trade because in my mind there's no continuation there. So why waste my money and put myself at risk on a trade that's unlikely to get there? Microsoft, I'm only going to look at 492. This 483 level, it's getting above. It's not really doing anything. 483 could run all the way to 492, which it has before, but on the higher time frame, it looks like we're starting a bounce. So it hit the bottom here. It might be retesting again. Probably has found the bottom here, and we're looking to get back up. Once it gets back to 553 or even 530, I could get really interested. Amazon on the higher time frame, chopping around. It's tough to get into this right now. Probably, let's see what a better key level is for Amazon, and I think it is this 234. So even if I see trades there, I'm probably not going to take it. Focusing on Tesla, Meta, Google would be 330, but I still am not going to take that. MSTR is the 184 based on Bitcoin at 93. Coin 272. It ran a bit last week and then came back down. But that could really run. Once it gets to past 300, it could really run. So on the higher time frame, it's looking okay, but it chopped around the past couple of days, so it looks like it could be ready for a move. There's a lot of continuation in an underlying Litecoin, so we should definitely be following it. AVGO had a big drop, possibly can get back, so we can reclaim all-time highs. I would probably be looking at the 387 for AVGO. Back to 404. Apple, have been watching it, has not been doing anything. It looks really slow. I'll take a look, but I don't really want to take a trade on Apple. It's too slow. And it doesn't really continue. So we have a break and retest at this 277. You can make a case that, oh, we want to bounce off this 277, but I do not want to look at that. So the only time I'm going to look at Apple is maybe when it's above 288. Again, I'm probably not interested in that because Apple does not have continuation in most. This one is a crazy one because this is a multi-month reclaim. So at 725, it could get really interested. Oracle, not gonna touch that. Nibis, I'm watching it with them, but again, not gonna touch that until it hits like 104. They said the 104 level. Goldman Sachs looking really good. Maybe if we get above previous day high. Let's see what it looks like. Four, 8, 5. And this actually hit all-time highs before retracing back because the market. So this, I think we missed our move already, but the move was right here is textbook. But we can just watch that. Previous day high 475. We just want to follow that. This one also looks good. We missed the move here on November 11th. I don't think we were trading at that point. And then we're doing a retest. So this could still have a lot of steam there. So there's a lot of other ones we could be watching, but my short list is going to be SPX above 6,900. Tesla, I'm gonna wait for 471. Meta, we're waiting for direction, and then coin and MSTR for quicker trades. So Tesla, if Brando gets involved, I could get involved, and with same with Meta. So I like Palantir. Tesla's looking really good. When is it going to break out? We are going to have to listen to them because they know how Tesla moves. I did a whole bunch of back testing on Tesla over the weekend, and when this runs, it really runs. So we always have to be watching Tesla, and I will be doing Meta this week as well. I did SPX last week, and I realized that SPX are just shorter day trades. There are not a lot of continuation opportunities, but when opportunities show up for SPX, it is fairly obvious what you need to do. So I have to keep studying that, but we are going to focus on the big gainers, which would be Tesla, Meta, Palantir, Nvidia. The ones once they run, they really run. So Tesla and Meta are the main ones that I have seen. So that's it for the nightly pregame, and I'll see you in the morning.